Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. We're going to be taking a look at the new Assetto Corsa Competizione game. As you can see here, we've got some footage of me driving a Lamborghini around the Nürburgring GP circuit. The tyre model is something I think they've spent a lot of time on, and you can really feel the difference of when the car is understeering and when it's about to oversteer. And you can see as we're heading around here, you know, different sort of characteristics of the car. It really helps you to really focus on getting the technique right when you drive the game, because if you're not doing a technique right and you're just sort of driving it a bit like it's a game and like it's not very realistic, then it will bite you. You know, you'll make mistakes and you'll have slides like I am there. You can see I had a little bit too much steering lock on mid-corner, and that made the car snap around on the exit, hit a curb, that made it snap around even more. So you can see the game really does link back to real life in a very positive way. Yeah, these are a couple laps I did just after playing the game for the first time, so the driving isn't perfect, but it does show you what the game's like, and a little bit of a progression, because we've got about 3 or 4 laps here of just straight gaming. So yeah, feel free to keep watching, but it's a fantastic lap this. I do love Nürburgring, and they've recreated it brilliantly. All the curbs are very accurate, I'd say. They're very high curbs at the Nürburgring. They're very steep when you hit them. Obviously, this one, the outside's flat, but you can see around certain parts of the lap there's big lips on the inside. That's yeah, a little bit can unsettle the car, but you just have to manage them. You have to attack them in the right way. And again, that's something that this game is doing very well. If I hit the curb at the wrong angle, it reacts badly, which is normal. That's how it is in real life. And you see you hit the grass there on the left, just over the inside of the curb, and it pushes the car off. The car doesn't like it, so it does react very, very well compared to, say, real life. Some of you might have noticed as well. Normally when I do videos, I'm in VR. So we haven't got VR support yet on the beta, but I know that is something that's coming out with one of the next big releases, sort of big updates onto this sort of early access version of the game. But yeah, for now, I mean, you can see the graphics in the car are fantastic. The steering wheel, gloves, even the way the sun moves across the dashboard there, it does look so realistic. I can't say it's something I pay too much attention to in real life when I'm driving, but just visually in the game, it does look really cool. And you can see there took a lot of curb there, and the car just about made it over. But sometimes when you hit that curb wrong, it doesn't like it. Same for this one. If you hit it wrong, it just pushes you off, and you end up way too wide. And here, if you turn in a bit too quick, like I did there, you get a snap of oversteer mid-corner, and then it pushes you wide, as you can see there. So, as far as the engine goes, sort of the handling model, it's really good. It's definitely reacting in the way I think it should be. It took a couple of laps to get used to it, because it does feel quite different to the original Assetto Corsa, but I'd say it's a positive difference. The tyre models in the original Assetto Corsa I don't think were the best. Personally, the way I experienced it was generally you just got a lot of understeer, and there wasn't any feeling of when the car was balanced and not understeering or oversteering, and then when it suddenly just went into sort of a snap understeer effectively. But here it's very progressive. You can really feel it, and you can sort of use it if you need to a little bit on the entry, just to make the car a bit more stable, or you can try and stay within the tyre and just make sure you've got maximum grip. But even then, trying to do that, ran in way too deep there. Had a bit of understeer on the entry, and not much you can really do at that point, but other than go for another lap really. But yeah, so coming here as well, you can see the track sort of drops away middle of the corner there, and that's another thing. And as we're turning in here, track's dropping away. It gives you a good sense of sort of the undulations you've got, and some games do struggle to do that. You don't always get the feeling that you're travelling downhill, but right here I really do feel like you can see the cars now turning and going up the hill. You really get that feeling. That's something else I've noticed as well with this game. And again, as I was just saying before, we're climbing now into a fast left, and you almost hold your breath while you're driving it on the sim, just because it does feel that there's that realism there. You are going uphill, you are going into a really quick 4th gear corner, So yeah, it's an interesting feeling. It's an interesting feeling for a sim, and something I think is is really good. So we'll just finish watching this last lap, and then we'll have a look at another lap, another couple of laps that I've got recorded. So all these laps were done on the stable setup. So there's a couple of different sort of presets that they give you. So basically setups that they've made to cover different areas. So yeah, this was a safe one as such, with a bit of understeer. As you can see at that last corner, we just understeered mid corner because I had a tiny bit too much entry speed. But we'll go on to a setup that I've been using, which is it's called the aggressive preset, which suits my driving because I generally do drive a bit more aggressively than most people do anyway. So we're just going to go for another 2 laps here on this setup, and you should be able to see there's a bit of a difference in the way the car handles. Straight away you can see there I was a lot tighter to that exit or the inside curb around the last bit of it. There wasn't really any understeer coming into the car. And that's partly because the way the setup's changed, and also because of how I can drive it now. You can now be a lot more aggressive, get the car turned in, and then open the power up. You can see there, brakes really late, but it didn't affect us too badly because I had exactly the same moment there as I had on the first lap in the other car, which is quite ironic. But yeah, the car is handling it. You can see that. Look, the car's turning a lot nicer there. We're sort of over rotating there, just turning a bit too tight into the corner. So there's definitely sort of more pace in the car than I would say there is on the safe setup. The only thing is, it is quite hard to drive this car on this setup when you're trying to get the absolute optimum out of it. So it's one of those things where you've got to drive it really carefully in a way to sort of make sure you don't make mistakes. But you still got to push on. You still got to try and get the most out of the car. And you can see there, look, much less understeer, and the car's a lot more sort of planted on the exit purely because you've got all the rotation done mid corner already. You're not sort of still fighting the car to get it to turn. I found at the high speed as well, there's a lot better turning, a lot better rotation on this setup than the other one, which is again, it's understandable. At high speed on a stable setup, you generally run a bit more rear wing. So I'd imagine the rear wing has been reduced on this setup just to help it sort of rotate high speed. And I'm going to be doing some more videos talking about the setups and talking about how I change them to go quicker and sort of the logic behind that. First of all, starting off with basics, just to kind of to sort of show you, little things that you can always do to help. I find there's a few things to me that I always can do to a car, and it will always help myself to go quicker. So I'll go into that in another video. But yeah, just for now, keep watching this one because it's pretty cool footage to have a look at, especially if you haven't actually had a chance to play the game or have even seen anything other than the demo runs by the producers themselves. So this is a bit of a better lap here, a little bit smoother on the entry there, still getting that rotation, and a little bit touched early on that power, which sort of made the car slide a bit at the rear. But it's still better than the last lap, so we'll keep it going. And just smooth on that curb, opening up that steering, and you can really feel when you drive this car the right way, it rewards you. That's again a lot to do with the game and how the game sort of interprets what you do. You have a lot of patience on the power. Well, let the car turn, and then power and open the steering up as soon as you can. And I just need to open the wheel a bit earlier there. You can see I held onto the steering wheel a bit too long, and the car just, it had a snap oversteer on the exit. Nice late apex here, bring the car back in, open the wheel up, and then hard on the power. Touch early, opening the wheel up there. Maybe hit a bit of curb, but yeah, smooth lifting here. You can see how much better that is than on the safe setup. A lot more grip there for the high speed corners. Not a huge amount of difference in lap times, which I found was interesting. Although I felt I could go quicker than I did on the aggressive one. But then, saying that, I felt I could go quicker on the safe one, the safe setup. So, there's always more to find, I guess. There's always more to find. But yeah, so it's first impressions of the game looks really good. Graphics-wise and handling, it's great for a driver like myself that's obviously into racing and can use this to practice different circuits and different cars and get a feel for what the car's characteristics are like as well. So it's a very useful tool for someone like me. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and please take a look at any more I'm bringing out soon. Planning to do a lot on the Assetto Corsa game Competizione that's coming out over the following year at some point. And yeah, to anyone that's got the early access, I enjoy the game, and I'm sure you enjoy all the new cars and the new parts of the game that are coming out over the coming months. So thanks for that, and we'll see you in the next video.